Hello and welcome back. This is Seismic Floor and stage 21 of La Vuelta. That's the final stage. So if you haven't seen stage 20, well worth going back and having a look at that. I think over the past 3 weeks for the Vuelta, my favourite stages have been stage 11 and stage 20, so well worth checking those ones out. As we watch this mainly processional stage into Madrid, I think we'll do a little bit of a review of the past couple of weeks racing from our perspective on this Pro Cycling Manager 2018 version. The actual Vuelta, stage 20, is ongoing as I record this. Quite early on in the stage though, so not a lot's happened yet. Before we get started though, let's have a look at who's in the breakaway. So we've got Dylan Toons, Bilbao, Aberasturi, I think that's how you say that, Gastoa and De Gent. So Gastoa and De Gent have been probably in about 75% of the breakaways for this race. They have been the most aggressive riders. So yeah, maybe they'll get a breakaway win. But let's just jump back to Woods, iconic in his Mountains jersey there, and we'll do a little review of the Vuelta, as I've said, and we'll start at the beginning. So stage one was an individual time trial, and we had Kelderman and Zakarin on exactly the same time. So on our in-game timings in the top right, we had Zakarin in front of Kelderman. But when we came through to those result screens, it was Kelderman who'd been given it in the end in front of Zakarin. Pretty unremarkable from our perspective though. Stage 1, stage 2, and Vincenzo Nibali comes to the front for the very first time in this Vuelta, and pretty much from that point he's dominated. So he started gaining time on that stage 2. He and a very small group of punchers got a small break at the end of that stage, so Aran lost a little bit of time there, I think. Stage 3 was a breakaway win. We had Pierre Rolland in the break. He didn't have great sprinting stats compared to everybody else, so we thought we'd give it a bit of an early push. Unfortunately, we went a bit hard. I think he ended up coming out about 10th, maybe just outside the top 10. Stage 4, bit of a disaster for Rigoberto Urán, losing 3 minutes of time, and we'll come back to why that's a bit of an issue. But we did have Danny Moreno in the break. Another sort of breakaway win there. He held on to 10th on stage 4. Stage 5 again we've got the breakaway holding on, but Rigoberto Urán does come in 9th, so that's our first his first top 10 finish. But we do also lose Pierre Rolland, which is a little bit disappointing, being down to 7 riders so early in the race. Stage 6, one of the very few sprint finishes. We send Simon Clark up into the break, and it gets brought back this time. But he still manages the best performance of our riders, so he comes in 6th, in front of Van Aysbroek in 8th, and we just sort of see the start of Michael Woods coming to the forefront of this Vuelta, finishing in 11th. Stage 7, we're talking about Michael Woods again. He gets into the break. Again, it doesn't hold on, and we have a bit of a puncher's finish. Rigoberto Urán again coming in the top 9. Well, coming in 9th, again in the top 10. Stage 8, we send Moreno in the break, so that's the 3rd stage in a row we managed to get somebody in the break. And another great finish from Rigoberto, coming in 6th. On stage 8. Stage 9, we send more people in the break this time. Michael Woods, Although the breakaway doesn't hold on, he manages to finish in third, which is a great finish. And this is the point at which we see Vincenzo Nibali take the lead, never to be relinquished. This is also Rigoberto's 4th trip into the top 10 and his 9th of the Tour, ironically on stage 9. Stage 10, we leave the break alone for a change, but we still managed to get Aran in 7th and Woods in 9th. Again, a little bit of an uphill finish, as we've come to expect in this La Vuelta. And another of my favourite stages, stage 11. So, well worth going and having a look at this one. Great result from us. So effectively, we get both Michael Woods and Danny Moreno into the break early on. I think it's a huge break to start with. I think this one may be topping out at about 50 riders, which is a bit of a surprise. But over the last climb, we end up in a bit of a showdown with 2 Lotto Soudal riders, one of which being Tej Benoot. After some solid work from Danny Moreno, we get Woods to break away at the top and take a win of about a minute in front of the rest of the breakaway. Moreno manages to hold on to those Lotto riders, and in fact comes in third. Managed to split them. So that was a great stage, well worth watching. Stage 12, and Michael Woods in the break again. Second time in 2 days, third time in 4 days, and it's also the first time he gets his hands on this mountain jersey. Finishing in the end in 6th after being caught in the breakaway, so a good solid finish. We then got some really good top 10 finishes between stage 13 and 15. 13 we make a bit of a pig's ear of, to be quite honest. If you want to see how truly terrible I can be at this game, go and watch that one. Rigoberto Aran coming in 8th after we send Michael Woods in the break nice and early to try and pick up some more mountain points. Doesn't really work out. Aran again in the top 10 on stage 14. He comes in 6th, and stage 15 we see Michael Woods coming back into a little bit of form. He finishes in 6th after being in the break again. Rigoberto Aran in 10th, and the biggest surprise of this Vuelta, Richie Porte crashes and withdraws. That's stage 15. Stage 16 we again show our time trial skills, individual time trial. We don't keep an eye on Rigoberto Aran close enough, and he blows up, losing about a minute there. Stage 17 we've again got Michael Woods in the breakaway after those mountain jersey points. After stage 12 he had lost that jersey again, but a good finish on stage 17. We end up with Aran in 3rd, probably his best finish of the race, and Woods in 6th. Stage 18 we look for a little bit of a rest before the big final Queen stage on 20. 18 was a breakaway win that nobody was really interested in, so it sort of just snuck away. Stage 19 we wanted to keep Woods and Aran fresh, so we sent Danny Moreno off into the break, and he managed to finish 2nd. So that was his best performance, and it was good to get the pressure off Woods and Aran. And then we're on to stage 20. Absolutely cracking stage, lots of things going on. Finish, we have Aran in 7th and Woods in 8th. We have Woods getting hold of that mountain jersey again, winning it after being in the breakaway. He ends up on 63 points, 1 point in front of Bout Mollema on 62, who is in turn 1 point ahead of Adam Yates in 3rd on 61 mountain points. So that's 2 points between the top 3 in that classification. Really, really tight. So yeah, that's sort of the stage roundup. and we had a pretty good welter, to be fair. In terms of breakaways, we had Wood in 8 breakaways, so that's over a third of the race. Danny Moreno off in 4. Pierre Rolland and Simon Clark got in 1 each as well. In terms of top 10 finishes, we had Iran with a staggering 10. So that's nearly half the race. He was in the top 10. Quite similar to Alejandro Valverde's performances, which are just crazy, to be honest, in real life. Michael Wood 7 top 10s, so a third of the race he was in the break, a third of the race he was also in the top 10. Crazy performance from him. Danny Moreno twice in the top 10. Van Aysbrook and Simon Clark 1 apiece. So I think we could probably give Michael Woods our best rider. So he was the only one to get a stage win. He also picked up that Mountains jersey. But it's probably remiss not to mention Rigoberto Urán coming in 7th, about 13 minutes back. If we hadn't lost that minute in the individual time trial, it would have moved up a couple of places. If he hadn't have lost the 3 minutes in the crash in stage 4, he would have been on the podium. He would have been 3rd. So that's really quite annoying. But there we are. That's sort of the summary of where we've got to. So what we're going to do is we're going to see out the last 15 kilometers of this race or so. We'll start trying to set up a bit of a train, and we'll see what we can do for the very final finish of this year's Vuelta. Here we are then, inside the last 8 kilometers. Sprint train, trying to set it up, trying to get people as far forward as we can. And yeah, we're just going to see how we can go here. Simon Clark's probably the best option that we've got, but everybody's a little bit tired, so we're gonna have to see how this plays out. In fact, he's creeping up the outside. Our train isn't fast enough. We need to pick up the pace. We've got Sagan in here, probably the favourite. Let's see if we can jump onto one of these other trains. We're only just catching the breakaway with 2 kilometers to go. That's how tight we've left that one. We get everybody with a bit of energy, and probably try and follow Peter Sagan here. And we're off. Let's just get everybody sprinting. I think we've probably left that one a little bit late, but there we are. Bit of a surprise finish there. I think we've got Elia Viviani from Trentin and Sagan, and we have indeed got another member of our team in the top 10, Sebastian Langeveld this time, stage 21. Podium time confirming that result. Elia Viviani, Matteo Trentin, Peter Sagan, and Sebastian Langeveld in 9th. Great result for him. Pretty much expected top 3 as well, I think, with the sprinters we've got left. Alejandro Valverde in 6th there. So overall there, Vincenzo Nibali 6 minutes in front of Valverde. He's in front of Thibaut Pinot as well. Good mention of Rigoberto Urán in 7th. A couple of Irish riders, 9th and 10th. Nicholas Roche and Dan Martin. And there's confirmation of the crazy mountains classification. Michael Wood 63 points from Balt Mollema on 62. Adam Yates on 61. Really quite tight. And the sprint points. Vincenzo Nibali winning that one in front of Alejandro Valverde again. Close, but not quite. Woods in 5th. Urán in 8th. Best young rider came to life in the 3rd and final week of the Vuelta. Jack Haig and Tej Benoot changing places all over the place. Jack Haig eventually coming out in front. confirmation here of our second place in the team standings, which was a great finish for us. And that brings to an end our La Vuelta journey for 2018. Hopefully you've enjoyed this series and this episode. Please feel free to leave a like or a comment or subscribe to the channel if you're new. But for now, thank you for watching.